Ryan is a super talented fighter, but IQ-wise, he only knows but few things. Like, he's always gonna resort back to that hook. And if Barrios come into the right game plan, with the right game plan, it's gonna be the same.
He have potential. He have a lot of skills. He have a lot of potential to be one of the biggest star in boxing.
Do you think it's like a mental thing when you have all that pressure and you go in there and you get, like, some would say you got, like, embarrassed, kind of?
It's hard. It's obviously it's hard. But,
I mean, that was a big fight for him to take too, right?
Yeah.
I guess they could have both dodged that.
Do you think that it was too early to take that fight, or do you think it was smart?
What I think he need to do is take that loss and learn from that loss.
I think Ryan's a little faster and might punch a little harder. I'm not sure, but so that makes it a pretty much an even fight. But like I said, Ryan Garcia, which Ryan is gonna show up on fight night?
We don't really care about the followers. We care about his performance. There it is. He had a little minor setback, major comeback. Right. He did what he had to do.
It's a good matchup for Ryan. I think Ryan has the skills, the power, the speed to actually go and become champion. But there's a few things that I see that might not be in his favor. And look, Barrios is dedicated. I know him. He's actually a good friend, a good person. And they chose him because they think Ryan has everything it takes to become champion. To become the world champion.
Ryan Garcia is ready to fight Mario Barrios in an exciting welterweight match. Both fighters are fast, powerful, and skilled, and fans are eager to see who will win. Experts think it will be a close fight, possibly going all the way to the final rounds with plenty of action to keep people excited until the end.
He just lost, and now he's fighting for a world title.
So would you say that, so do you like this fight for Ryan right now? Yes or no? You basically just...
I mean, if I was on his team, yeah, I would love it. But if I'm not on his team, I mean, I'm just being honest. He should not be fighting for a world title. And he's just coming off a loss. But the reality is what I said before. Social media is the reason why. Because Mario Barrios, even though he's a champion, he needs Ryan Garcia to get a big payday.
Ryan Garcia believes he can knock out Mario Barrios. He's confident in his speed, timing, and strong left hook to control the fight and finish it quickly if he follows his plan. Garcia thinks he can avoid trouble, land clean punches, and keep the fight from lasting too long. Experts say Barrios is a tough opponent who will give Garcia a good challenge, but not one that's too risky, making this the perfect fight for Garcia right now.
You think you can knock him out?
For sure. I think I can knock any man out. I don't give a f if he's 400 pounds and 100 pounds. They all could get it. Any weight class.
Ryan, did you seek out Barrios or did he come to you?
Man, it just came to me, man. Like I said, I try to let God move all my decisions, and I just felt like that was the right move. I had another offer at the time for more money, and I was like, nah, I'm cool. Going for Mario.
Ryan, do you have in mind fight against Manny Pacquiao or Eagle Kurt?
Hey, we're always open to those opportunities too. You know, like I said, it would be an honor to get that going, but we're not too focused on that right now. But yes, would love that opportunity.
Ryan, what do you think about Mario's fight with Pac-Man?
I think that he's getting a little worn down now. I think Mario, by what I mean by that. I think that he's been took in some good punches, took in a couple too many good shots. I think he slowed down a little bit.
Mario Barrios is also confident going into the fight. He relies on his experience and believes he has the upper hand over Ryan Garcia when they face off.
I think the advantages I have coming to this fight is just overall just like everything. You know, my experience, you know, who I've been in the ring with, who I faced. I think, you know, the boxing IQ, I think I had that on my side. You know, heart. I think, yeah.
He does have experience, more experience at a higher level.
Greg Hackett, however, isn't sure if Ryan Garcia is fully ready for the fight with Mario Barrios. He sees it as an even matchup and thinks Garcia will need more than just his strong left hook to win. Hackett also questions Garcia's focus and commitment leading up to the fight.
Yeah, I think Ryan and Barrios is actually a good fight because when have we seen Ryan in the ring with somebody his height? You know what I'm saying? So I think we're looking at a real boxing match. Could he overwhelm Barrios? Yeah, but where is he mentally? Ryan Garcia has been spending time with YouTubers and streamers and like that. He ain't really been training. So what type of Ryan are we getting? I mean, are we gonna get the front runner Ryan who go in there and try his best for 2-3 rounds and then for the rest of the fight? or is we gonna get a focused Ryan that's really trying to go in there and do damage? Barrios, at the same time, he questions himself at times, and I think that's his biggest downfall. He get in that ring, and sometimes he questions his own abilities. So therefore, that could either make for a great fight, or it could be a bullshit fight.
Ryan Garcia's trainer says this training camp is different from the past. He mentions that when Garcia is mentally focused, everything else falls into place, especially his fitness. The coach also believes Garcia can easily return to the 140-pound weight class, making weight without problems while keeping his strength and energy.
Our strength and conditioning coach will lock it in, Ryan will lock it in, and we're back to 140, solid. But that's a strong possibility. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. And we talked about that.
It changes things.
Yeah, and I mean this. I mean this 100% sincerely, that we could make 140.
Because when you guys fought Haney, you guys were not necessarily you guys, but he was drinking, he was doing all these other things that...
Exactly, yeah, forget about that and forget about the Rolly, because I'm telling you, that was not Ryan. This is Ryan. This is Ryan. You're gonna see Ryan. This is gonna be Ryan. And you're gonna say, man, he looks good. His weight is good. And his strength is unbelievable.
Boxing analyst Wade Plemons is looking at the fight between Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios from the perspective of the fighters and their trainers. He wonders if a coach influences the fighter more, or if the fighter shapes the coach's style. With Mario Barrios now working with experienced trainer Joe Goosen, Plemons points out that a new coach could bring new strategies and skills that Barrios didn't have before. At the same time, he mentions Ryan Garcia's confidence, as if he already knows what Barrios and his team might try in the ring.
Who makes a fighter, right? Especially in boxing, combat sports, is it a coach that makes the fighter or the fighter that makes the coach? Now, Joe Goosen has a track record of being a high-level boxing coach. We know that. But do coaches change for fighters, or do they implement what they know to fighters and fighters change for coaches? Because this will be the crux of what happens here. Can Joe Goosen, not to call Mario Barrios old, but can he teach an old dog new tricks? Can he give him something that Bob Santos hasn't? Sure. Can he give him more info about what Ryan likes to do? Absolutely. But will it be enough to prepare him for what Ryan knows that Joe knows? And how Joe trains fighters, and how Joe runs a camp, and how rigid he might be. And even that last part, Ryan's talking about information leaking maybe from Joe, or that Joe was leaking information about Barrios, or about, I'm not sure who he was talking about.
The tension between the fighters even spilled into the press conference, where Garcia and Goosen exchanged some sharp words. While the remarks seemed casual, they added some extra heat to the situation, fueling Garcia's focus and making the upcoming fight even more dramatic.
When I first found out that Joe was gonna go ahead and train Mario Barrios, I was taken back. I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking, well, what the heck is going on here? Why would a coach that trained my son all of a sudden turn around and train somebody else to go against my son? He told me a while back that he's done this in the past. He would train someone, then later on he would go against them. You know, again, I think it's not right, but maybe it's something he has to prove, or it's just an ego thing. But I also remember that he told me specifically that when Ryan is 100%, no one can beat him. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, Ryan is 100%.
Meanwhile, boxing expert Jeff Mayweather shares his thoughts on the match. He believes Barrios is smart, strong, and hits hard, which gives him a real chance to win. If Barrios wins, he could move on to fight bigger names and continue climbing the welterweight rankings. On the other hand, Jeff says Ryan Garcia has the speed and power to win when he's at his best, but he questions whether Garcia is ready to fight for a world title again so soon after his recent loss.
Well, Barrios is a very good fighter, smart, good boxer. And he got decent punching power too. So I mean, he has a great chance of winning.
So if Barrios does win, what's the path to victory?
Well, if Barrios wins, I mean, there's other big names. I mean, there's a lot of big names out there right now with a lot of these young fighters, and so, I mean, to continue on his path by continuing to fight bigger names.
If Ryan wins, though, What will be the reason? Like, would you say speed, power, timing, or IQ?
I think speed, power. Ryan's a great fighter when he seems to be all together. But in all honesty, he shouldn't be fighting for a world title again. He just lost. And now he's fighting for a world title.
Trainer Robert Garcia sees this fight as an important test for Ryan Garcia. He's confident that Ryan has the speed, power, and skills to become a world champion against Mario Barrios. However, he also admits that there are some concerns about how the preparation and training have been going.
It's a good matchup for Ryan. I think Ryan has the skills, the power, the speed to actually go and become champion. But there's a few things that I see that might not be in his favor. And look, Barrios is dedicated. I know him. He's actually a good friend, a good person. And they chose him because they think Ryan has everything it takes to become champion, to become the world champion, because they're already planning on huge fights with Devin Haney and whatever out there for Ryan.
Garcia mentioned that leaving top trainers like Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, and Derek James to work only with his father might be a setback. Even so, he still believes this fight is a key moment in Ryan's career.
The fact that Ryan, has gone through 3 top trainers that would have done a great job, Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, and Derek James.
Correct.
And he's not training with neither of them. He's training with his dad, which I'm not saying the dad is not, the dad brought him through the amateurs, but when he left his dad or went to seek a different trainer, before he came back to that, he went through 3 different trainers.
Wow.
That means all 3 are not good enough to, they're all 3 are the best in the world.
Here's the question. Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because he's the boss. That's why.
Yeah.
Look, Joe Goosen, I know Joe Goosen. My brother used to train with him. He's not gonna just let you get away with stuff like that. Derek James shouldn't either. Eddie Reynoso doesn't need. He's made so much money with Canelo that if you want to come to me, it's gonna be under my rules. And if that didn't work, then Ryan's back. So that's I give that big advantage to Barrios to even pull that off.
Joe Goosen's past experience working with Ryan adds an interesting twist to the matchup. Goosen was once Ryan's coach before Ryan started working with other trainers and relying more on his father. Now, as the coach for Mario Barrios, Goosen has first-hand knowledge of Ryan's habits, tendencies, and technical moves. This gives Barrios an advantage, with Goosen knowing exactly what made his former fighter tick, adding a strategic layer to the fight.
This is an interesting dynamic in this fight. Ryan Garcia, when he was coming up through the amateurs, it was mostly him and his dad going to tournaments and Ryan learning there. But when he got to Los Angeles, he got to work with Joe Goosen at 10 Goose Gym. And this was around, I think, the time where Ryan was 17 years old, and Joe ended up being his coach for a while. Ryan ended up leaving, going to work with Canelo, then going to work with Derek James, then coming back to Joe for a little bit. And I think now he's just trained by his dad for this fight. So there's been a lot of back and forth for this fight, because now Joe Goosen is training Mario Barrios, who previously had worked with Bob Santos for the last couple of fights. But the dynamic being Joe Goosen knows everything probably there is to know about Ryan Garcia from training him for so long. Garcia knows everything there is to know about Joe, or at least how Joe coaches, what he's going to try to look to implement with Barrios toward Ryan Garcia. It's both guys knowing their biggest secrets, they're knowing their greatest weapons and how to prepare for each. It's going to be a bit of a chess game, or it's going to be Ryan Garcia saying, hold this left hook, dude. But I don't like...
Richardson Hitchens believes Mario Barrios has the advantage if Ryan Garcia doesn't make major changes in how he trains and fights. Hitchens points out that Garcia can't just rely on his speed and knockout power against someone like Barrios, who keeps the pressure on and pushes forward. If Garcia's defense isn't sharp and he leaves himself open, Barrios could take control of the fight. Experts agree that if Garcia isn't focused, uses smart strategy, and stays disciplined, he risks being outworked, giving Barrios the chance to dominate from start to finish.
If somebody has a game plan for the hook, he's gonna get beat.
Who wins? Barrios or Ryan Garcia?
I don't know. Ryan kind of turned me off at that Rolly fight.
Didn't you say something about where he was training? Because I mentioned it too, that he looked like he was training in his house.
Yeah.
But he could be trolling and really training.
No, it looked like he's in the gym now. Yeah. It look like he's in the gym. He look like he's trimming down. He look like he's in shape now.
Definitely looking in shape.
Yeah, he definitely like he's getting smaller. He's trimming down. I was looking at his pictures. I'm like, yeah, he like he's getting ready to fight. But what turned me off about Ryan was when I was watching him and Rolly, like ringside. It looked like Rolly froze him. Like after the second, third round, Rolly dropped him. It looked like he was very hesitant. Like, and it like all he was looking for was that hook. Like he was waiting for that hook. Ryan is a super talented fighter, but IQ-wise, he only knows but few things. Like he's always gonna resort back to that hook. And if Barrios coming to the right game plan, is with the right game plan, it's gonna be the same. If somebody has a game plan for the hook, he's gonna get beat.
Paulie Malignaggi isn't impressed with Mario Barrios, laughing at how the action might unfold in the fight. In his view, Barrios could end up repeating past mistakes if he doesn't change things up, especially in a big fight like this one.
If he throws 7 punches around, this will be the most boring title fight in fight history because Mario Barrios throws 4 punches around when it's convenient for him too, as he did against Pacquiao.
So champ, this brings my next point. You cut me off where you said, do we bet draw on this fight? Because Barrios has
Barrios back-to-back draws?
Back-to-back triple draws. It'll be he had a draw against Pacquiao, and then he had a draw against Ramos, and now if he fights Ryan and they go out there and they combine total 50 punches in a 12-rounder, we could get a third draw.
I hope Barrios is investing his money well, at least, because he's definitely made more money than his ability has come to show. But I'm always happy if a guy can at least take care of himself. I hope Barrios is at least investing his money well.
Mikey Garcia focuses on the key question: which Ryan Garcia will show up? When Ryan is focused, fast, and sticks to his plan, he's dangerous, and his left hook can end fights. But if he gets distracted or loses focus like he has in some recent fights, mistakes could let Barrios take control. Barrios applies steady pressure and keeps a constant pace, which could overwhelm Garcia if he isn't prepared. Mikey believes this fight isn't just about skill, it's about focus, preparation, and staying sharp when it counts.
Rumors of Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia. Who you got in that fight?
Oh man. You know what? Kind of, it's a difficult decision because it depends on what Ryan shows up. If the explosive, fast, and strong Ryan shows up, he's got a really good chance.
He's got it. He's the champion.
However, if
Barrios got the belt,
Mario Barrios uses his experience, which he has, and we see the Ryan that fought Rolly, for example, then Barrios would win.
Okay, so
it kind of falls on Ryan, which Ryan shows up to fight.
If Ryan's on his game, you got Ryan?
I got Ryan.
Chris Algieri talks about how star power can sometimes help a fighter bypass the usual steps to a championship shot. He thinks Barrios is a champion many contenders would want to fight, as his style and the current state of the welterweight division make him a good target for big fights, even for someone coming off a setback.
Selective matchmaking here, that you want an opportunity at 147 pounds. 147 is not, the prince of titles like it once was. But this idea that Barrios, to Paulie's point, might be the most vulnerable person in the mix. This idea that obviously he's targeting a shot at 147. What do you think of it?
Well, I mean, everything the champ said is absolutely right. In terms of this fight and it being made, it's already a black eye on boxing. You got a guy who's coming off a loss. You got a guy who hasn't won a fight at 147. Not to mention, we didn't mention this yet, he's got a drug scandal in the middle of that. So it's not even that he's just hasn't been winning and has proved himself at this level. He's literally cheated to get here and been caught and was suspended for it. But this is boxing, like the champ said, and it's unfortunate that we reward people who fail up. And just because they're popular, just because they put butts in seats, and Ryan does do that. And listen, I know, champ, you think that Ryan is going to knock Barrios out? He might, but he also might fumble the bag again, and he might pull a Rollies and go out there and throw 7 punches around and end up losing to a guy like Barrios.
Oscar De La Hoya is excited about the Barrios versus Garcia fight, calling it an important matchup. He sees it as a chance for Ryan Garcia to bounce back and fight for a world title, instead of just chasing celebrity fights. With Barrios coming off a strong win against Manny Pacquiao, De La Hoya believes Barrios is a serious opponent who could make the fight exciting, with the possibility of knockdowns from both sides. For De La Hoya, it's all about Garcia showing focus, determination, and using this opportunity to get back in the spotlight with a strong performance.
We're looking at maybe late February, early March. I want to stage that fight in Las Vegas. I think it's a great opportunity for both guys. For Barrios, who's coming off a draw against Manny Pacquiao, the legend, an old Manny Pacquiao, obviously. But I think this is a great opportunity for Ryan to win a world title. And it's a tough fight. It's a very difficult fight, but it's one that we're looking forward to in Las Vegas.
And not Ryan's last fight with Golden Boy, right? I heard you say
No,
that.
not at all.
Where do those rumors come? Where do you think that's coming from?
I have no idea. We have just to set the record straight. We have a multi-fight deal still in place with Ryan Garcia.
The analysts dive into Ryan Garcia's career and the fighters he's beaten. They point out that his wins over Oscar Duarte and Luke Campbell stand out because those opponents were skilled and tough. When compared to Mario Barrios, it seems Garcia's victories might even carry more weight. Even though Barrios is a world champion, experts wonder how he would match up against someone like Garcia. The discussion highlights that in boxing, a fighter's record doesn't always tell the whole story, and style, skill, and timing all play a big role.
Who's the kid that you said trains in your gym that Ryan has a knockout win over? He's been on a pretty good roll.
Duarte.
Oscar Duarte.
Yeah, Duarte.
Oscar
I think
Duarte. That was his last win.
I feel like Duarte is a better fighter than Barrios. I feel like Garcia does have wins on his record that are better than Barrios, where he didn't fail drug tests, and that is the Duarte fight, and also even Luke Campbell. I would think would be, but poor Luke Campbell never got to be a world champion, but his title shots came against Linares and Lomachenko, so that's why he was never a world champion. You get a guy like Barrios. I mean, a lot more guys will become world champions. I think Luke Campbell's a better fighter than Barrios as well, if you put them head to head in that stylistic matchup. So I think Garcia has wins that are comparable to maybe even better than a guy like Barrios.
That's a wrap for today's video. What do you think? Can Ryan Garcia's speed and power overcome Mario Barrios? Or will Barrios' size and pressure be too much? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more exciting fight content.